As I walked through the bustling streets of the city, the air was filled with the excitement of the annual Masquerade Festival. The streets were alive with vibrant colors and the sounds of laughter and music. People from all walks of life gathered here, each hiding behind a mask, each telling a story without words. I, David, an architect with a penchant for the details in life, was there for a special reason: to meet my girlfriend, Lisa. Lisa had described her costume in such vivid detail that I was sure I would spot her the moment I saw her. She spoke of a dress that danced between the realms of masculine strength and feminine grace, a concept that appealed to her artistic senses. So, when I saw someone in the distance wearing exactly that, a striking mix of sharp suit lines softened with flowing fabric, I didn't hesitate. I approached her with a smile, my heart beating a rhythm of excitement. "Lisa!" I called out as I reached for her hand. The woman turned, and even behind the mask I could see the surprise in her eyes, a momentary flicker before it was hidden by a playful smirk. "David?" She played along, her voice a melodious tune that somehow didn't match Lisa's. But in the spirit of the festival, surrounded by mystery and laughter, I brushed aside the doubt. We wandered through the festival, talking about art, architecture, and the little quirks of life that make it interesting. This woman, Emily, as I would later know, had an infectious energy, a spirit so free that it made me forget the little details that didn't quite fit the image of Lisa in my mind. Emily's costume was a canvas of identity, blending the boundaries of gender with each thread. It was bold and challenging, much like her views on life. As an artist who thrived on expression and the shock of the new, she wore her ambiguity not just in her costume, but in her very demeanor. We shared a dance, the kind where you feel the world blurring around you, leaving only the music and the moment. As the evening wore on, filled with laughter and shared secrets, I realized how easily we can see what we want to see. In a place where everyone hides behind a mask, reality becomes a story we tell ourselves. And in this story, I had mistaken Emily for Lisa, drawn in by a costume and a chance encounter that felt like it was meant to be. But as all masquerades do, the masks would eventually come off, and the truth would reveal itself, bringing with it a cascade of unforeseen emotions and choices. For now, I reveled in the mystery, unaware of the revelations that the night would bring. The festival night had faded into vivid colors of dawn, and with it, Emily and I found ourselves wandering the city's waking streets. The masquerade's enchantment lingered as we moved from quaint cafes spilling with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee to the serene paths of lush city parks, and finally to the quiet contemplation of a local art gallery. In each location, our conversation deepened, weaving through the layers of our lives and thoughts with the ease of old friends. Emily's knowledge of art, her bold opinions on the blend of traditional and contemporary forms, resonated with my architectural background. She challenged my views, pushed me to think beyond the physical structures I so loved designing and consider the abstract forms of space and meaning. Her attire, a clever blend of identities, seemed less like a costume now and more a part of who she was, complex and intriguing. I admired her for it, the ease with which she carried her ambiguity. It was refreshing, captivating. Yet, amidst this growing connection, a small part of me nagged at the inconsistencies. A laugh that didn't quite echo Lisa's, insights so uniquely her own that they couldn't have been my girlfriend's. Emily, for her part, played her role with a subtle grace. She knew well the mistake I had made the night of the festival, yet something about our interactions, perhaps the genuine delight in our shared discoveries or the way our ideas danced together, convinced her to maintain the illusion. It was a delicate balance, 1 part deceit and 3 parts a growing fondness that neither of us could quite deny. As we stood together in the art gallery, surrounded by expressions of human emotion and thought rendered in paint and sculpture, Emily pointed to a piece, an abstract mix of harsh lines and soft curves. "It's like us," she said thoughtfully, seemingly at odds but somehow making perfect sense. The comment lingered between us, heavy with unspoken truths. I looked at her, really looked at her, trying to peel back the layers of the person I thought was Lisa, but knew deep down was someone else. Who was she really? And why did it feel like I was meant to meet her, even under such strange pretenses? Our day unfolded with a natural, easy rhythm, Yet beneath it all was the undercurrent of an impending revelation, a truth that, when uncovered, would unravel the tapestry we had woven with such care and curiosity. But for the moment, I allowed myself to be lost in the unraveling, in the beautiful complexity of connecting with someone so unexpectedly, so completely. The day of Emily's art show arrived, a pivotal moment not just for her as an artist, but unknowingly, for all of us entangled in this unexpected narrative. The gallery was a modern space, its stark white walls a canvas for the vibrant and provocative pieces that spoke boldly of identity and expression. Emily's artwork, particularly her pieces on cross-dressing, challenged the observers to rethink traditional norms, much like how she lived her life. As I walked through the exhibit, admiring the courage and complexity of her work, I found myself reflecting on our recent interactions, the growing connection that felt both exhilarating and somehow inevitable. Emily joined me, her presence a comforting constant in the swirling thoughts of doubt and wonder. Then, without warning, the fragile thread of our shared reality snapped. Lisa, having come to the art show to support what she thought was her boyfriend's interest in art, spotted us together. The look on her face, a mix of confusion and the dawning of betrayal, was a sharp stab of reality. "David, what's going on?" Lisa's voice trembled, the hurt evident even before the full truth had unfolded. Emily stepped forward, her expression one of resigned courage as she prepared to unveil the truth that had woven a complex web around us. "Lisa, I'm so sorry," she began, her voice steady yet empathetic. All of this was a misunderstanding. I'm not who David thought I was when we met at the festival. I didn't correct him, because, somehow, what we shared these past days felt too right to interrupt. The air was thick with tension as Lisa turned to me, her eyes searching for an explanation, a sign of deceit. "You thought she was me?" Her voice cracked, the realization not just of the mistake, but of the emotional intimacy she perceived between us, cutting deep. I struggled to find the words, the betrayal not of the heart, but of circumstance, pressing down upon me. "Lisa, I didn't know. It was the festival, the masks. We were supposed to meet, and Emily, she was dressed like you described. It was all a misunderstanding, but one I didn't see until now." The conflict laid bare the complex emotions that had inadvertently woven us together. Emily's art, reflective of her life, spoke of the beauty and pain of being misunderstood, of the boldness required to live one's truth. Yet here, that truth had caused pain to Lisa, and a rift between us. As Lisa walked away, her steps echoed the shattering of trust, leaving me to reconcile the weight of unintended betrayal. Emily, too, stood amidst her own creations, her expression one of profound apology for the chaos her silence had brought. The art show, meant to be a celebration of identity and expression, had become a stage for a painful revelation. The pieces around us, each telling stories of conflict and acceptance, now mirrored our own turmoil, challenging us to navigate the aftermath of truths unveiled and relationships questioned. In the weeks following the tumultuous revelations at Emily's art show, the dust began to settle, and the sharp edges of betrayal and misunderstanding slowly softened under the weight of introspection. The community center where I, David, dedicated my spare time became a sanctuary of sorts, a place where I could channel my tumult into something meaningful. It was here, amid the echoes of community spirit and the busy preparations for an upcoming charity event, that Emily appeared again in my life. She approached with a cautious respect for the boundaries that now lay between us, her offer to help at the event an olive branch extended in genuine remorse. "David, I know I can't change what happened, but I want to help, if you'll let me." Emily's voice was sincere, her eyes meeting mine with an earnestness that was hard to ignore. Reluctantly, I agreed, aware of how her artistic flair and tireless spirit could benefit the event. As we worked together, Emily's dedication shone brightly. She threw herself into the tasks with a passion that was both inspiring and humbling. She organized art workshops for the kids, brought local artists to donate their work for auction, and spent hours decorating the community center. Her actions spoke louder than any words of apology could, and slowly, the community, as well as I, began to see the depth of her character. Word of her efforts reached Lisa, who had taken time to heal from the emotional whirlwind. Curiosity piqued by the changes she heard about, Lisa visited the community center during the event. The sight that greeted her was unexpected. Emily, covered in paint and laughter, surrounded by children gleefully waving their newly created art pieces. The scene was a stark contrast to the painful confrontation at the gallery. Moved by Emily's genuine efforts and the joy she brought to the event, Lisa's heart softened. Watching Emily interact with the community, her selflessness in helping others, allowed Lisa to see a different side of the woman she had only known through a veil of hurt. In a quiet moment, Lisa approached Emily, their conversation one of tentative steps towards understanding. "I see why David couldn't see the truth," Lisa admitted, her words mingling regret with newfound respect. "Your spirit is captivating." Emily's response was gentle, a mix of relief and gratitude. "Thank you, Lisa. I'm just sorry it had to be under those circumstances. I never meant to hurt anyone." The event was a success, not just in the funds raised or the laughter shared, but in the bridges it rebuilt. As the day wound down, Emily stood beside me, watching the community buzz with a sense of accomplishment and unity. "Thank you for letting me be part of this," she said, her voice low, mindful of the journey we had all undertaken. "Thank you for showing us what forgiveness can look like," I replied, the words marking a milestone in our collective healing. The charity event did more than just raise funds. It mended hearts and redefined relationships, proving that sometimes redemption lies in the willingness to help others, and heroism can be found in the quiet resolve to make amends. Months had passed since the charity event at the community center, and the bonds between us, Emily, Lisa, and myself, had found new grounds on which to grow. Emily, ever the embodiment of creative energy and remorseful for the past, decided to organize a surprise party for me. It was her way of apologizing to not just me, but to everyone who had been swept up in the whirlwind of our earlier misunderstandings. The venue Emily chose was a cozy, ambient space in the heart of the city, decorated with twinkling lights and vibrant art pieces that reflected her soulful approach to life. As I walked into the room, blindfolded and guided by Emily's careful hands, the warm cheers and claps of friends and family filled the air. The blindfold fell, and I was greeted by the sight of all those I loved, their faces alight with joy and surprise. Emily had outdone herself. The room was a spectacle of joyous details, pictures of shared memories lining the walls, and in the center, a beautiful sculpture that symbolically represented renewal and growth, a nod to our recent journeys. Her efforts to mend the past were visible in every corner, every smile of our gathered friends and family. As the evening progressed, filled with laughter and nostalgic recounts of past adventures, Lisa pulled me aside to a quieter corner, her eyes gleaming with a mixture of excitement and nervousness. The ambience softened around us, the noise fading into a gentle backdrop. She took both my hands in hers, her touch gentle yet firm. "David," she began, her voice trembling slightly with emotion, "these past months have been a roller coaster, but they've shown me how deeply I care about you, how much I want us to be together, despite everything. You are my unexpected joy, my constant in times of change." Then, reaching into her pocket, Lisa produced a small, elegantly wrapped box and opened it to reveal a ring, a simple yet stunning piece that caught the soft lighting perfectly. "David, will you marry me?" she asked, her voice a blend of hope and love. The question hung in the air, a moment suspended in time. Overwhelmed with emotion, I nodded, my voice catching in my throat as I whispered, "Yes, absolutely, yes." The crowd around us erupted in cheers as we embraced, a circle of warmth enveloping us in our newly cemented commitment. Meanwhile, Emily, who had been mingling and ensuring everyone was enjoying themselves, found herself in conversation with someone new, a guest who had come as a friend of a friend. This person, Alex, shared Emily's passion for art and life's deeper questions. As they talked, Emily found herself drawn to Alex's understanding and appreciation of her perspectives, both as an artist and as an individual. Their connection was immediate and profound, a spark ignited by shared interests and mutual respect. The party, intended as an apology and a celebration, became a turning point for all of us. For Lisa and me, it was the beginning of a lifelong commitment, a journey we chose to embark on together, strengthened by the trials we had overcome. For Emily, it was the opening of a new chapter, one where she found someone who could appreciate her for all that she was, and all that she aspired to be. As the night drew to a close, the unexpected proposals and newfound connections reminded us all of the unpredictable beauty of life. The way it can surprise us with joy just when we think we have it all figured out. The party was more than just a celebration. It was a testament to the healing power of love and the unexpected paths it leads us on. 1 year later, as the season of the Masquerade Festival returned, the air was once again filled with excitement and vibrant colors, but this time with a renewed sense of clarity and celebration for all of us, Emily, Lisa, and myself. We returned to the festival not just as attendees, but as embodiments of the personal growth and transformations we had experienced over the year. The festival, once a backdrop for confusion and mistaken identities, now served as a grand stage celebrating our journey toward understanding, acceptance, and love. Lisa and I walked hand in hand through the crowded festival streets, our engagement a beacon of the deepened connection we had nurtured. Our relationship had been tested but emerged stronger, each challenge forging a closer bond, teaching us the value of patience, communication, and unconditional support. As we passed by the various stalls and performers, we shared a smile, a silent acknowledgement of how far we had come from the confusion of the previous year. Emily, meanwhile, had carved a niche for herself in the art world, using her experiences and insights to fuel her creative expression. Her latest series, showcased at a prominent gallery booth at the festival, delved into the themes of identity and expression, reflecting her journey and the universal quest for self-understanding. The pieces were bold and evocative, drawing crowds who were captivated by the depth and authenticity of her work. As the festival night progressed, the three of us met near the central stage, where music and laughter mingled in the air. Around us, people of all ages and backgrounds celebrated under the canopy of lights, their masks not just concealing, but also symbolizing the personas we all navigate through in life. Emily introduced us to Alex, who had become not only a significant part of her life, but also a collaborator in several art projects. Their partnership, both personal and professional, was a testament to the transformative power of understanding and acceptance that Emily had always championed in her art. As the festival reached its crescendo, with fireworks painting the night sky in bursts of dazzling colors, we reflected on the unpredictable beauty of life. The festival had come full circle for us, a place where we had once lost and found ourselves in the maze of misidentities. Now, a celebratory gathering marking our growth and new beginnings. The celebration was more than just an annual cultural event. It was a poignant reminder of our journeys. We had learned to embrace not only each other's strengths, but also our flaws, and in doing so, we had discovered the deeper beauty in each other and in the life we shared. As the last of the fireworks faded into the starlit sky, we stood together, united by our experiences and the shared belief in the power of love and acceptance. The festival, once a setting for a comedy of errors, now closed its curtains on a saga of transformation, reminding everyone present that happiness often finds us in the most unexpected ways. And when it does, it changes everything.